See you in church. Well, it's movie time, movie time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, put the little hand up, say, leave a message on what do you think? Okay, well, this is another story from my when back when I was a child. We had just seen a movie where there was a blob and everything like that. And we got home and everybody was sitting around out there because we were in the dark again. And we were like, I wonder how long that's going to be. But anyway, they were all sitting out there talking, and I was tired, but I went and sat down with them. And it was like you could smell the beautiful flowers and everything. There was a whole row of roses and everything across at one of the neighbors, so you could smell the beautiful roses. And they started talking about in this small town there was this house and nobody would go trick-or-treating there. And it wasn't because there was an old lady there, because there wasn't. And it wasn't there because there was an old man who lived there, which there wasn't. It was because that house looked like something from a haunted movie where kids had disappeared and everything. But a young family lived there with two children, a boy and a girl. And one of their friends would go there all the time and play with the girl during the day. But when it started to get dark, they would leave. So, anyway, my neighbor said she went and asked her friend, why don't you, stay longer and everything? And she goes, She says, during the day, everything's fine. But the moment the sun goes down, that house gets scary. Well, she says to her, well, it always looks scary. She goes, no. She goes, I stayed over one night and I was downstairs waiting for my friend, and things were moving around. She left her doll on a chair, and when she came down, her doll wasn't on the chair anymore. I didn't move it. It was on a bench that was sitting next to the wall. She goes, now, if I didn't move it and she was upstairs, who moved it? She went over and they weren't going to eat, and she found out where the glasses were, and she goes, I'm going to go get a glass. And they said, okay. And when she said, when I went over to the shelf to open the door opened by itself. And I reached up and got my glass, and the door closed by itself. And I put water in it, and I went and sat down, and they said, don't you want some soda or some Kool-Aid? And she goes, no, I just wanted water and everything. And her friend knew that she was diabetic. She couldn't have the sugar. So they sat down, they ate and everything, and she went to stay with her in her room. But she said while she was there, she woke up and she could see two eyes looking out of her closet. And she had something that was over there that looked like a little round, heavy pillow, and she threw it in their room. And the blouses moved around, but the eyes didn't move. They were still just floating there. She said that freaked me out. I closed my eyes, I covered my head with a blanket, and I tried to go back to sleep, which I finally did. She said, but after that, I would not stay over. So then she told her, well, you know Tommy. She goes, yeah, Tommy stayed over. And he stayed in Tommy's room. And he said he saw some things similar to that. But the only difference, and he said he grabbed his stuff and he went home that night. Something grabbed his leg. She goes, no. He goes, yeah, that's what he said. You can ask him. That's why I don't even play with them. But you live across the street from them. And she goes, that's right. But I don't play with them. I don't want to be grabbed or anything. She goes, but he could have been lying. She goes, but do you want to take the chance? You're seeing things moved. You're seeing doors open and close. You're seeing eyes in the wall. He saw those things too, move and whatever, but didn't see the eyes. But something grabbed his ankle that night. He put on his clothes, grabbed his bag, and went home. He didn't say anything. He just left. Then he saw his friend at school, and the school friend said, what happened to you? And he said, something grabbed my leg and it scared the bleep out of me, and I left. But they didn't see a ghost. So she just never befriended them. She stayed away from them. People would go over there. She would stay quiet and let things go on. But she was too scared to go there. She said the thing that bothered her is that only people that lived in that house was the mother, the father, and the two kids. But she saw in the window in the attic an old man and an old woman looking through the window. She says they were looking through the window into her bedroom. And she's seen it like 6 times, and several other people saw those faces too. She thought it was a joke or something, but she wasn't going to take any chances. And she never went to the neighbor's house. Not for trick or treat, not for anything. She said there was no way you could get her to go there. But what do you think? Would you have gone? I don't know. I sort of have the feeling I would have. But who knows? If when you're put in that position, you might go, but most of the times you're like, no. That's me. I don't think so. But what would you do? Anyway, put your hand up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to leave a message and tell me what you think. And do you think I should talk about something else later on? Or should I tell the story about the three three witches that live in the woods? There's supposed to be four, but what happened to the fourth witch? I don't know. Let me know if you really want to hear that story. But until then, AA, see you in church.